Hello, Human Good residents and other life plan communities. Okay, so topic today, what do you have at home that you could use in lieu of a dumbbell? So traditional dumbbells, pretty light, these are like 2-pounders, biceps, overhead presses, lateral shoulder raises, bent over rows, tricep pushbacks. Those are the ones that you would traditionally see in a video. I'm going to show you a couple other things that you would do if you're lying down. So, what do we have in the pantry? We have a large soup can, and it's actually pretty comfortable. I think it's the same dimension as a smaller can. So you could just go into your cupboard and check it out. And you could do your bicep curls. You could do your shoulder presses. You can do your lateral shoulder raises. You can do your front shoulder raises. If you wanted to do a rear shoulder raise, you would need to lean forward and lift that way. So you emphasize the rear shoulders as opposed to the middle shoulder. You could also do some rows. So always support your body, and from here pull up and back down. You can also do a tricep pushback, pushing back, good. And you could also do the tricep a little differently. You could take a overhead French press and push. So they're pretty comfortable. You may start with a smaller can, but if you do have something heavier, then you can progress. And I think that's one of the really important things about exercise is getting the body used to exercise and then increasing the resistance. So this would be just a little bit of a scaption exercise, which can be useful for reaches. You could take a heavier can and work on your reach position, either seated or standing. Good. Okay. So cans are good. Also, if you wanted a little bit of resistance for your hip flexors, you could just carefully hold the weight on your thigh, and voila, you have a little more work in the hip flexors. So that kind of does it for the cans. Let's put these down. Now, something that's kind of easy to hold is some in this case, turkey stock. I could hold it with a bicep curl if I had to. But there is benefit to doing the single arm or single leg motion. It helps you identify if there's a weakness on one side. So if you only have one turkey stock container, just do it one arm at a time. Again. So again, find things that are comfortable for your hand position. Sometimes there is some arthritis in the hand. You want to be very mindful of that. So, turkey stock, check it out. Okay, what do we have? Oh, these are really comfortable and very inexpensive. So these are just 1 pound containers of 1 pound bags of, in this case, split peas and lentils. Very comfortable. So you could definitely do some shoulder raises, some bicep curls, some wrist curls, very good for the wrists, doing some lighter weight. And as you progress, guess what? You can put them in one hand, they're very comfortable, and work some of the other muscles. Bent over row, a tricep pushback, So, necessity is the mother of invention, right? All right, what else do we have? So, definitely a plastic bottle is probably one of the most available. You might be able to borrow some from your neighbor if you don't have any. And they're quite comfortable. Nowadays, plastic is much thinner, so it's very easy to hold. You can even do a little bit of this. Now, just make sure the lid is on tight or that it's not an opened container. So here you go. We got a little bit of workout for the trunk and the lats just by tossing a lightweight bottle. So all the things that you have done with the soup can, you can also do with your bottle. And as you get stronger, as you do exercise regularly, right? That's what we need to be doing. You can advance. So now I've got a liter size bottle, and that would allow me to do a few things. For example, I could take a sort of a nice overhead work, adding some trunk extension and some work in the triceps. Definitely advance my bent over row. My tricep pushback. And whatever exercises that would be appropriate for you. So again, now you've got 2 liters, a little heavier. Some exercises, if you were doing some squats, you could use this as a little more resistance for that squat. So taking your squat position, move back away from the chair a little bit. Good, keep a nice square back. You can also do one at a time. A little bit wider position, so I call it a sumo squat, where your legs are out a little bit and you're adding just some resistance. And what it's also helping you to do is not use your hands on your thighs, but again, you're only going down to a point where you feel some work and then come on up. I like to do a lot of rotation with extension. You could add a weight. Good. You're handing somebody the bottle behind you. I'll come back to this in a lying position because some things we can't do standing or seated in terms of a weight for the chest. All right, so again, I use a play ball for a lot of exercises for lower body and again, just as an object. But now you can do some chest work with a play ball because it's very lightweight. You'll feel that. But what if you don't have a play ball? Find your fluffy pillow. Let's put this down and really good for a little bit of adduction, hip adduction. Let me hop on here. A little more comfortable. That might be a good way. And squeeze in. You're gonna feel that resistance big time. Squeeze in. So this would be a very good alternative for a round play ball. Good for rotation. So taking your motion, picking up something light and putting it back down, picking it up so it's comfortable. And then also you could take it and work a little bit of that chest press seated. Now I found that when doing this, that if I did this, it didn't feel really good in my thumb, like that. So what I did was just hold it in my forearms and squeeze and squeeze. So just about anything we have at home, you could probably use for in lieu of a weight. Milk carton. Make sure, again, the lid's on tight, and you can fill it up as heavy as you'd like. It's not the most comfortable handle, so be very careful about that. If you've used kettlebells, this would be a great kettlebell alternative. So, again, I might use it for a little extra work as a squat or a wide squat. And or any type of object that if I wanted to do any chopping or swinging motion. Those are probably not many of the exercises that you'll be doing, but just holding it and alternating gives you a little resistance, works on your small motor skills as well, transferring. It's all kinds of things you can do as exercise, right? Okay, so if you don't have a TheraBand, but if you have a big Notions box and some old elastic, it's really going to work pretty well. So I found just a piece, and it allows me to do a little bit of motion. I'm getting a little bit of resistance. Now, I don't have one, but if you have like a 1980s elastic belt for very popular back then, if you still have one of those hanging around, you know, you would just cinch it and it was pretty tight, you could take that, and that might be a really good option for resistance band. So I tried this. It's not the greatest, but it is something for the row and for any other kind of upper body motion that maybe you want some gentle resistance, not heavy resistance. I did go to the hardware store and I thought, well, maybe a bungee cord would work. This one is not stretched out, so it's very tight, but you could do the row. And I would just say be very careful of the hooks. So I would even put some tape on the hooks. But it is something. So let's try that. We can do the row where you pull. Actually, that's a lot of resistance. That's a good one. And let's see if we can use it for our chest work. So around the back and push. Oh yeah, that's pretty tight. It's not wonderful, but it's something. Or if you have some smaller ones, you can do some external shoulder rotation where you just here, and this is a good, this is not a bad exercise with this particular bungee. So see, I'm just kind of playing around. So get in there and check out what you have in your pantry. Now, I did want to say that seated or standing chest work is hard because you're dealing with gravity, so you're not getting the most effective way to strengthen the chest. So if you are going to use, if you have a place where you can lay down, let me show you a couple of exercises that you can do. Ah, that feels good. All right, so I can take my weights, aka weights, my water bottles, and push. That's going to give me a little bit of work in the chest. If you want a little more work, you can take it into what's called a barbell position and push. Always mindful of what's best for your body. So those are, that would be your chest exercise. You could also do a fly, where you take I'll just do one arm at a time since I'm next to the wall. And you're going to be very careful. If you feel too much of a stretch as you take the weight out, either change the size of your handy dandy water bottle or just change the range of motion. One of my favorite exercises is called a pullover. Perfect for a water bottle. So from here you lengthen the arms overhead, feel a really good stretch in the back. Exhale and bring the weight back to your start position. So that about sums it up. We are all dealing with reimagining just about every aspect of our life, and exercise is one of them. So I hope you got some benefit out of this. As I always tell people, you can store calories, but you can't store fitness. So we have to kind of get after it every day and do a little something. Keep up our resistance to gravity and our resilience to life's curveballs. So go out, give me your feedback on what you liked about any of these things, or give me some ideas, because I will share them. Thank you so much. Have a good day.